And we are back with you answering your stimulus-related questions and your tax-related questions. We have Mark Hensley with AARP North Carolina, Kevin Robinson with Robinson Tax and Accounting Services. And so right now what we want to do is we want to talk to you about the debit card stimulus payment and the envelope that it comes in. All right, so let's show you the video so that you will be able to see. This is the debit card. And again, it says absolutely nothing about the IRS or that it's a stimulus payment on the debit card. It does, however, say that on the letter. And when it comes to the envelope, I got to tell you, it is pretty much a plain white envelope. And again, it does not say IRS on the plain white envelope. So we want to make sure that you don't throw this out by accident. All right, so Mark, a lot of people have said, oh no, I think I have thrown it out by accident. What should I do now?
Yeah, about 4 million Americans are getting this debit card in the mail, and now we're getting reports, as we feared, that people just threw it away or they shredded it. So this actually just came up today as a resource that we want to share with you. There is a number that you can call if you have lost, fear that your card has, or that you know that you threw that card away or you shredded it, and that is 1-800-240-8100. So
say that again for me. So we want you to be able to take that down.
Yeah, it's 800-240-8100, and they will send you a replacement card. Also, in that envelope, there should be instructions about how to activate that card. If you do not have that piece of paper, and I've already talked to someone today who didn't have the activation code, you can go and have that activated online. And I know you're going to provide that information on your website.
Yes, absolutely. And so we want you to know that that is in the 2 Wants to Know section, so that anything that we're talking about in the next half hour will be in there for you as a resource. So we are getting back to some tax questions, Kevin. They say, if you owe 2018 and 2019 taxes, will you not receive a stimulus payment?
Basically, the stimulus payment is independent of back taxes owed. So basically, back taxes could not be deducted from the stimulus payment. It may have to go toward paying those back taxes, but as long as you qualify for the income and filer status parameters, you should still be able to get your stimulus payment. And again, you may have to use it to pay back taxes.
But that is your choice if you decide to use it to pay back taxes. They're not garnishing your stimulus payment in any way, shape, or form. There's only one way that they're garnishing the stimulus payments, correct?
Right, and that is unpaid child support, yes.
Okay, unpaid child support, back child support. Not
right.
The current child support that if you're continuously doing it, but back child support. Okay.
That's correct.
Mark, let's talk about this. If my portal says the stimulus check was mailed to me April 24th, why haven't I received my check, and what do I need to do?
That's a real concern. By now, being the first part of June, you should have received it. So the first thing you can do, if you've checked your portal status, that's great. Number two, if you feel like this has been stolen or lost in the mail, the best thing to do is to go, according to the instructions, to identitytheft.gov. So that's real easy to remember. One word, identitytheft.gov. Enter your information. This is actually a form of identity theft. And we're seeing this begin to pop up, that these payments are disappearing or being stolen out of mailboxes, and you definitely need to report that quickly so it can be rectified.
This person is asking, Mark, the IRS site says I am not eligible for a stimulus check. However, I make under the threshold. So how should I proceed? And there's a couple different reasons maybe why you would not be eligible.
So that's an interesting comment, that that they make under the threshold, but they're not eligible. I'm going to assume that it could be an age issue, depending on their filing status in 2018, 2019, or they were carried as a dependent by an adult parent. One thing they can do is call that hotline and talk with the IRS directly about their specific circumstances. But if they have received that they're not eligible, it should fall into some of the criteria that's listed on the IRS website. It's very clear who is not eligible, and that most Americans, even if they make no income, are going to receive a payment as long as there's a way to get that payment to them.
And there's been a couple of times where people have said, I'm claimed as a dependent, they're an older adult, am I not going to get the stimulus payment?
Yeah, that's one of those areas. They will not get a stimulus payment if they're being carried by an adult child as a dependent, and in some cases that is the case. Neither the adult child gets the $500 dependent payment, nor does the older adult receive the $1,200. This is something we advocated for and hoping if there is a second round of stimulus, these people that fell through the cracks will get a payment before anybody else.
All right, Kevin, this person is saying if you received $2,400, that would be the two people together, but your spouse died, does some of that money need to be paid back? What do I need to do?
That's a good question, Tanya. I guess the situation is if the spouse died either in 2018 or 2019, then yes, very likely the $1,200 of the $2,400 would need to be paid back. The question would be, is that has they already deposited a check for $2,400 or has a direct deposit come in for $2,400? If the money is already in the bank, then yes, the surviving spouse needs to issue a check to the U.S. Treasury, write economic or EIP for economic impact payment 2020, and put the deceased spouse name and social number on it and on the check, and with a note to it, and send it to the IRS at the refund inquiry in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay, we are going to be talking about tax returns because we're getting lots of questions about that, like where is my IRS refund? And is that being delayed? We're going to be talking about that when we come back, but you can ask your questions by text 336-379-5775. We'll be right back.